A San Antonio man is turning his homeless living experience and difficult adolescence into lessons of inspiration. He's doing it with his new book called Roy the Homeless Boy. I welcome back Roy Juarez Jr. He is a national youth empowerment advocate and an author and really a great human being. I did a feature story on him almost 10 years ago. That's crazy.
It goes by so fast.
Time just flies, and you have been flying yourself.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about a children's book you decided to write.
Well, about 7 years ago, I was on a plane traveling, and I woke up and I was like, Roy the Homeless Boy. I was like, oh, that's my children's book, right? Because I wanted to advocate for youth all over the nation and the world and bring awareness. But I didn't know how to tell the story without kind of scaring kids with the whole idea of homelessness for those who had not experienced it. But I finally found a story that I felt, you know what, I like this story. And it's the first in a series of 10 that are going to happen. And each book will teach a different value to children along the way.
And you even used your own pet growing up. What is the pet's name here?
His name is Harold.
Harold,
yes,
you see him right here on the cover. There's Harold. And you just want to make this, maybe you want, is it because you want to create more openness to and acceptance to, you know, people who are homeless doesn't mean they're bad people, you know?
100%. Well, right before the pandemic, we had 2.1 million homeless youth in America. And that's a lot, especially for a nation which is so rich. So how do we have that many homeless kids, and how do they become such a hidden minority, which is why on the cover of the book, I have Roy, which is me growing up. He's looking away from the book because it represents the hidden minority of homeless youth.
Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about your own journey. You know this very well. You took care of your little brother, for a little bit, your sisters. Your mom had made decisions that were at the time, you know, not good for you guys.
And I love my parents. They're human and they make mistakes. You know, and a lot of times, a lot of parents are growing up with their children, and they don't. You don't come with a handbook that says this is how you become a good parent. But today, my mom and I are extremely close. My dad, because of the Homeless by Choice book that we talked about before on this show, is what brought my dad back into my life. And so, at the book signing I'm going to have at Barnes & Noble's and Animal Ranch, they're going to be coming. They're going to be there. And so I'm very excited to see my parents there.
You know, you guys really need to read his first book to hear more details about his story. But I mentioned it in the beginning, he experienced what, you know, domestic violence looks like, being homeless as a little boy, not knowing where you're going to go. So you turned your story into, you talked to youth all around the nation.
When I graduated from college, I couldn't understand why me. Why did I get so lucky to make it? And so I decided then that I would live out of my car, cross the country, and try to inspire as many kids as possible to not give up on life, their dreams, and understand how valuable education was. But there was so much need in our nation that I ended up living out of my car for 2.5 years, circled the entire nation, and spoke to over 100,000 kids. And my phone never stopped. I turned myself into a national motivational speaker at the time without even realizing it, because my phone never stopped ringing.
Because for you, it was just, I'm here to do what I feel is right, what my mission is. And then your mission just became bigger. And it's growing and growing.
I literally just got back from Brazil working with kids as well.
That's incredible. He's traveling the world. Maybe he'll take us with him too. But, you know, this is a real subject, a real topic, domestic violence, you know, maybe mental health, how we just talked about. What would you say to a kid or even a mom or a dad at home who are struggling with all of this?
Well, for the young people, I would say love yourself enough to give yourself a chance. You know, I think that a lot of times kids never stop loving their parents. They just stop loving themselves. And we can't go there in life. Love yourself enough to give yourself a chance. And the second thing to parents I would say is, it's okay to make mistakes, just make it right. And your children love you, they just want you there. Be present.
So true. Amen to that. Thank you for being with us today. And if you guys want to visit him, well, you can tomorrow at the Barnes & Noble Alamo Ranch. The address is on your screen. For more information, go to royjuarezjr.com. It was